Welcome back to ChatterBeans, and this is it, the final episode of Season 1. I'm your host, Isaac Kong, and today I've saved something special. I'm joined by Hayley Ford, a woman with 18 years of stories from the world of reality TV and documentaries, who made the leap from behind the camera to behind the aesthetics needle. In this chat, Hayley gets real about industry burnout, the courage to walk away, and how a simple list of things she actually liked led to a totally new career path in the beauty world. She's now studying her level 7 in aesthetics and continues building a business that's all about helping people feel good in their own skin. And she's loving it. We talk about everything from Big Brother to Botox, from career crossroads to self-care, and how taking risks can sometimes lead you to exactly where you're meant to be. And which fashion designer did she meet in Paris, wearing nothing but Primark? This one's funny, inspiring, and a little bit fabulous. Let's get into it. Here's episode 15 of ChatterBeans. Hayley, welcome to ChatterBeans.
Thank you.
How
I'm
are
so
you?
excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
So good to have you here. We've known each other how long?
Oh,
Couple of years?
Probably a couple of years now, right?
Yes, and we're going to come on to how we know each other,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to share that story. But why don't we start with you? Tell us who you are, what you do, anywhere you want to start.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So I'm Hayley. I basically have spent the past probably 18 years working in television. So I basically work in TV production.
Nice.
I predominantly work in unscripted. And my whole TV career has spanned a whole range of different formats, I guess. So I started off on working on Big Brother back in the day, one of the early series of Big Brother.
So exciting.
And then I sort of moved from reality into kind of quiz shows. And then what did I do after that? What we call factual entertainment, which were things like First Dates for Channel 4. I did The Apprentice with Alan Sugar for a couple of series. And then more recently, I've moved more into documentaries. So at the moment, I'm working for an independent production company, and we make documentaries for Netflix, Amazon, Apple, all the big streamers,
So
all the
exciting.
big ones. Yeah.
And so your role is more logistics, is that right?
Yes.
So you kind of organise it, make it happen, all right?
Exactly
All
that.
right?
Yeah. So TV, I guess the way to describe it is it's got two kind of sides to it.
Yeah.
So you've got the creatives, so you've got producers who would literally do all the kind of producing, the interviewing, all of that kind of thing. And then there's my side, which is more the production management. So I would do all of the schedules and the budgets and anything that's logistics.
Yeah. So on filming day, you'd be there making sure it's all running smoothly?
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah. So sometimes you're there on location. It depends what you're filming, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, if it's some of the reality stuff, or say your first dates or that kind of thing, then you'd be on location. If it's a more basic interview setup, then I wouldn't necessarily go to location. So it's really varied.
And I vaguely remember you from TV days. So when we met again, I say again because when we met recently for what we met for, which we're going to come on to, I feel like I knew you. And I was a runner on Big Brother.
Yeah.
In the original house.
Yeah.
I actually interviewed for First Dates.
Did you?
I had a producer interview.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yes, this must have been about 8 years ago.
Wow.
So it was before.
So we must have crossed over at some point.
It was just before my previous relationship, and I think I'd been on the first date with him, but I'd already applied for First Dates.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, just go for it."
Sadly, we didn't match you with Oscar. Shame, innit? That would have been a good story.
We found him later. But yeah, so I must have I don't know. I feel like I'd known you from somewhere.
That's really funny. I didn't realise you'd done that.
Yeah, I'd worked on many things.
Oh.
But TV world then, has it changed a lot over the last few years?
It's changed massively. I think as well because I've moved through different genres. Then I do a lot of serious stuff now. Yeah. Really serious, like we do a lot of more kind of specialist factual, so history, documentaries, things about, it's kind of a running joke that at the moment we're making loads of stuff to do with white political leaders or white men that are in too much power.
Really?
Hitler, Trump, Elon Musk.
Yes.
But somehow it works.
Well, there you are. And people are watching, right?
Yeah.
So there we are.
But I think the nature of what we make has changed a lot.
Okay.
I just think the industry in general's changed a lot.
Is
you
it
know.
smaller? Am I right in thinking there's less
Yeah.
being produced?
Yeah, there is. I think short form's taking over a lot more now. What with the rise of more social media and TikTok and, even like YouTube and kind of more user generated content, it's
Yeah.
changed massively,
I
which
suppose
means
attention
that
span is.
yeah. So then all of a sudden, I say that, I was going to say we recently made something about World War II from the front lines, but that was number one on Netflix for weeks.
Really?
People love war stuff. So I was going to say that people are going more towards the short form, but actually I'm not sure that's
No.
always true.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's been your favourite part of TV? Reality, the stuff you're doing now?
I think that's a good question because I think it's changed as my kind of career's gone on.
Yeah.
So at the beginning when I was younger, I loved doing all the reality, the kind of, as we call it in TV, shiny floor.
Yes.
So, your more kind of live shows and that kind of thing. Because I think it was young and it was fun and it was really exciting. I mean, it is exciting. It's great.
Yeah.
I think as I've got older and more kind of experience, I actually do prefer more documentaries now.
Do you?
I think it's a slower pace as well.
Yeah.
Slightly slower.
Suits you.
Yeah.
Have you got any stories you can share?
Oh, what, without giving away too many names?
Yes. You told me something about you had to get was it a Eurostar to Paris?
That's
Who
quite
was
a good
it?
one,
To meet
actually.
who?
So this was back in 2016, right? So it's quite a few years ago, 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we did a Eurotrash special. Do you remember Eurotrash?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. You're going to say you're probably too young.
I think I'm on the edge.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I remember
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So Eurotrash was obviously huge. And in 2016, when it was the referendum,
Yeah.
we decided to bring back a one episode only. And the idea was that it's like, why would we leave Europe when there were so many quirky things that go on?
Exactly.
So we got back Anton de Caunes, who was the presenter, and Jean-Paul Gaultier. So I was like, where do I sign to work on a new remake of Eurotrash with Jean-Paul Gaultier? Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I just stop you there? Because
Yeah.
yesterday's recording,
Yeah.
and by the time this episode goes out, Guillaume's episode will be out.
Yeah.
The person he wants to have coffee with was Jean-Paul Gaultier, and he's French.
Oh my
Guillaume
God.
is
I've
from
probably
France.
got his number.
There
Shall
we
I
are.
pass it on?
Yes. And I didn't tell him yesterday on the recording because I wasn't 100% sure. I forgot what you told me, but there we are. Anyway, so you
great.
you went and
Lovely
met
guy.
him, right?
So normally it's, I mean, this was 10 years ago. Well,
Yeah,
just under.
almost.
And so normally it would be more senior people that would go and meet them. But he'd basically come, he was in London anyway. He'd come to our offices and I just really got on with him. So I met him very, very briefly.
Right.
Next thing you know, we needed to get him to sign up and fully go through it all with him. So the next thing you know, they've asked me, because he liked me, to go to Paris for the day to meet him and Anton.
How exciting.
So I literally jumped. I had about less than 24 hours notice. Now, at that time, I wasn't earning as much money. I wasn't in the same place I am now.
Yeah.
And I freaked out and was like, I don't know what to wear. So I ended up getting on the Eurostar, going and meeting him in a 5-star hotel in a private dining room to get him to sign up to the series, in top to toe in Primark.
Perfect. Do you remember which Primark you went to?
It would have been the one in Hammersmith.
Oh, why not?
I mean, he didn't know, did he?
No, of course.
Surely he
No.
would have known. Come on.
Probably. I mean, they all would have just walked in.
It's
But hey.
embarrassing, but there we go.
Why not? You're young.
Lovely guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
Good.
You know, I went to Paris for the day, had a little bit of lunch,
What
got
a
him to
great-
sign on the dotted line, came home. Lovely.
Perfect. What a great story. Yeah.
And then he designed as part of the show, there were kind of dancers that were, all kind of tits and teeth.
Yeah.
And he'd designed this kind of horse girls French outfit for them that then was made. And I have one of those that he has signed. at
Do
home.
you?
Yeah.
That'd be worth
It's
something.
amazing. Yeah. So that's always my claim to fame. I went for lunch with Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Love it. So how long have you worked in TV?
About 18 years now.
So did you
Yeah.
come straight out of school into TV?
Straight out of uni, yeah.
Straight out of
yeah.
uni? Did you know you wanted to do that from a younger age?
No, not really, to be honest. So
How did it
how I
happen?
fell into it is a bit strange.
Go on.
I went to uni in Aberystwyth in Wales.
Did you?
Yeah, it's the only reason why I went there is because I thought I need to go as far away from home as possible. And I such like a non-countryside.
Yes.
That's just not me.
Right.
So I thought if ever I'm going to live somewhere that's outside of a city, I might as well do it and do it properly.
Yeah.
So I went to uni both of us.
Yeah.
I signed up to do a drama degree. Now, I don't want to be an actress. So why I do drama, I have no idea.
Where did that come from?
I don't really know. I
Was
remember
it-
my mum saying to me, I remember my mum sort of saying, "Oh, just do something you're interested in." Because at one point I thought maybe I'd want to be a lawyer, and then I was
Quite
like,
different.
It's quite. My mum sort of said, "Well, how do you know if you like doing
Yeah.
law?" And so I said, "Oh, well, I'll just do something I'm like." So I signed up to do a drama degree. I got there and very quickly thought, why on earth am I here? I was surrounded by people that were, taking it really seriously,
Yeah.
really wanting to be, professional actors, and there was me just there for fun.
How did you get on?
But fine. Yeah, I got a degree. I've got a degree in drama. There we go.
Perfect.
You'd never think it. No, what I ended up doing was I chose different modules. So actually, I didn't actually end up doing any acting. I did more theatre management, theatre marketing, that kind of
Nice.
side of it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I was in my third year at uni, so I'm beginning to think, what on earth am I going to do? Because I certainly don't want to work.
Don't want to be on the stage.
No, I don't. And then one day I was so hungover because it's uni,
Of course.
and I'm laying in bed, and this was before the days of Netflix and all your streamers and everything, right? So I have my little aerial that's poking out the window of my my small little TV. And I'm laying in
Yes.
bed, and the only thing that was on it was Saturday morning kids TV. So I'm there watching cartoons and kids TV. And there was a series called Toonatic, and the idea was that it was classic kids TV. A couple of presenters doing links to cartoons, essentially. Yeah. But I thought that looks fun. Yeah. They get to pie people, with the pies. I was like, oh, that looks quite fun. Maybe I could work in TV.
Yeah.
So me in my very hungover state decided to email the presenter by guessing his email address.
Are you joking?
I'm totally serious. First name, surname at hotmail.com.
Yeah, these were the days where it was quite simple, I think. Hotmail.com, right?
Yeah. So I emailed him and was like, I think I want to work in TV. Is there any chance I can meet you? Next thing, I gave him my number. Next thing you know, I get a phone call. Now, I'm in Wales, right? And this was before the day of Wi-Fi calling or whatever. There was patchy signal. So I'm literally leaning out the window of my bedroom in my uni accommodation, trying to speak to this kids TV presenter, who then invited me to London to come and look around the studio.
Which studios? Do you remember?
It was ITV Studios.
Was
on
it
South
the tower?
Bank. Yeah. And so I ended up going to meet him, and he became a really good friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still in TV?
He's not actually. No, it's that kind of classic TV presenters.
Yeah.
Kids TV presenters kind of
Yeah,
phase out quite quickly, don't
yeah,
they?
Exactly, yeah.
But no, he's I think he works in finance now. Something completely different.
Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, he's still a good friend.
So did he link you into the production side?
Yeah.
Bring you in?
Yeah, so he got me work experience. So I did a week's work experience, and I was literally, I thought I was living the life.
Yeah.
The foam, when you foam someone and you sort of pie them.
Yeah.
Which was the thing that I was watching when I was hungover. All of a sudden, I'm making the gunge and I'm making foam pies and then clearing up the studio floor when it's gone everywhere. I was like, this is amazing. This is
exciting.
What I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I remember the first time being in a TV studio. It's just crazy.
It's great, isn't it? There's something really special about it, isn't
Especially
it?
live TV.
Yeah.
My first time was X Factor, Saturday night. And my boss at the time, he was like, "Are you ready for it?" And it was like countdown, and then it was live on TV. I was like, "Whoa, it's just so amazing."
Live is the best. You get a real
Yeah.
thrill out of it, massive thrill. But then from that, I ended up because you have it's ITV Studios, well, the big tower at South Bank. So you have a pass to be able to get in through security. And he actually ended up, so he got me a job as a runner for a few weeks.
Nice.
And he ended up letting me stay at his flat. He wasn't actually there, but he had a flat in North London. So he said I could stay there. And he sort of hinted to me, he didn't explicitly say it, but he hinted at me that because I've now got a pass, obviously I can get into the building, so I should use that as an opportunity. So what I ended up doing was I would get on the night bus at like 3 a.m. or whatever time it was. Go via a 24-hour Starbucks that I found in Waterloo.
Amazing.
Pick up coffees, and then tap my way into the studio because I already had the pass. And I would pretend that I worked on Good Morning. Well, it wasn't Good Morning Britain then. It was GMTV. And I would then pick up. People used to leave their scripts around, like on the floor. So I'd pick one up. I would photocopy it because I had the pin for the photocopier because it was the same studio that we did the kids' TV stuff in. And I would then just hand out scripts as if I worked there. And Ben Shepherd thought I was his runner because I used to bring him a coffee from Starbucks every morning and hand him a script.
That is insane because that would not happen now.
Oh my God, you couldn't get away with that now.
How exciting.
Yeah. Everyone just thought I worked there. Everyone knew my name.
What courage.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You have to do that in TV. You have to take those chances, those opportunities.
I think radio and TV, right, back in the day, it will never be the same in that sense. Like people could make it much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
How exciting.
Yeah, so that's how I got into TV. It's mad.
So you just carried on and then...
Yeah, and then at one point, I think I got offered a job on... It was only for a few weeks, but I got a job on Loose Women. Because everyone just thought I worked there. They just thought I was part of ITV.
Yeah.
So then I got offered a job on Loose Women, and then it just sort of went from there.
That is such an incredible story. I didn't know that.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. And so then you've just, you've worked your way up. Many shows, different production companies. ITV Tower's not there anymore, is it?
No, it's not anymore.
Right? I worked there on...
They were the good old days.
What did I work on?
What did you?
I worked on Philip Schofield's... He did a 24-hour TV marathon for...
Comic Relief or something, was it?
Yeah, but it was like a Christmas one.
Oh, okay.
Some Christmas thing. But I worked on that through the night. And I worked on The Chase, but that wasn't filmed there. I worked on something else. Anyway, I don't remember. But yeah, I just
The Chase would have been quite good. I always quite liked all the game shows.
The Chase was great. It was my first work experience after running on the X Factor.
Mm.
So I was audience managing on the X Factor for an audience company. And then from that, I met the ITV production secretary, and he was like, let me get you some work experience, because he was moving on to The Chase. And The Chase was filming like 3 episodes a day, back to back. No audience, even though it sounds like there is at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Bradley Walsh is so nice.
Oh, he's nice.
Really liked him.
Yeah. God, you've done loads. I didn't realise you've done all this.
And Big Brother, I was in the final episode on, it must have been Channel 5 series, maybe Channel 4, but it was in the Elstree studio house. And I was in the last episode, working through the night. So I got to clear up all the rubbish as they're doing all their camera shots and stuff. And I felt great.
What, so you'd go into the house?
Go into the house while they're asleep.
That was a big deal if you could go into the house.
Big deal, right? So I did night shifts.
Yeah.
And they were locked in the bedroom with like those really secure magnetic doors, right? And I remember just sneaking around, clearing up after their parties and going into the jacuzzi, trying to get shit out. And I loved it.
Do you think you could see why they would forget that cameras are there? Because it's a two-way mirror, right?
Yes.
So, but actually, when you think when you're watching it, you're like, oh, come on, they're just performing for the camera.
No.
It's so easy to forget because they're so hidden.
Yeah, but the house, it was much smaller than I expected.
Yeah,
I was
really
like,
small.
It's, but it's quite funny.
Bright. Did you not find the
so
lights?
Bright.
I would not be able to live in there.
No, it's so bright. It's so artificial. But at night it was really weird because you can hear all the cameras moving because they're doing their little shots and stuff. And that was a bit strange. But yeah, great times. So I love it. What a great story of how you got into TV.
Yeah, it's great. And then, I mean, it's a freelance industry. And a lot of people don't realise that it's freelance. So your job lasts for as long as the programme takes to film, essentially. So you end up moving around quite a lot.
Yeah. And I think it's changed a lot, right? So it used to be that you could get like permanent contracts with like ITV and BBC, right? But now it's mainly based off freelancers.
I'll be honest, I don't really know anyone that's ever had a permanent job
really?
like that. No. I mean, they do exist, don't get me wrong, but I think a majority of it, it's freelance. So
right, okay.
Yeah.
Good. So in the last few years, though, you've started to transition into something completely different, haven't you?
Yeah, which is how we met.
Which is how we met.
Do you want to declare how we met?
Yes, I'm not ashamed that my birthday is coming up very soon in the end of April, and I'll be 34. But I don't think I look 34.
No, you don't.
And that's thanks to your Botox.
Hey!
So yeah, we met a couple of years ago, probably 18 months ago, maybe slightly longer, because I think I found you on Instagram.
I think he must. I think he did actually.
in
Yeah.
Islington,
Yeah.
or someone in the gym. It was something like that. And anyway, I was like, yeah, let me get some Botox in my head because I felt like I needed it, and I love it, and people love it. So there we are.
I
So
love the
you've.
fact that you admit that. So many people don't
I do,
admit
do you
it
know what?
nowadays.
Genuinely, I think people are too worried about what other people think these days. The gym that I've been teaching at, yeah, I get Botox. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we met because you gave me my first ever Botox. I think it's great.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean, you
it.
look great, but obviously I would say that, you know.
Exactly. So tell us
You
how
did
you
great.
got into like aesthetics and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, do you know what? As much as I've loved my TV career, and it
Yeah.
has been amazing, and it's been so varied, and I've got so many fun stories, I've sort of come to the point several years ago where I hit burnout a lot. So TV
Really?
is it's a really hard industry. They work you really hard. It's just non-stop. And I just sort of got to the point where I thought I need to do something. I can't imagine doing this job when I'm 50 and
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
30, nearly 39 now.
Okay.
So I need to start thinking about what else I can do.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it was really hard at that time because I knew that I didn't want to work in TV. I didn't know what else I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's really
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up just over the course of like a year or something. It's ridiculous, but I wrote down. I have a notes in my phone of just things that I like, and that could be anything from getting a coffee and going for a walk in the park,
Yeah.
to getting my nails done, to just anything, right?
Yeah.
And then one day I went to get my Botox done. And I thought, I'm going to put that on the list because Botox makes me feel great. Like, I love it when it kicks in.
Yeah.
And then I sort of forgot about the list. And this list has got I need to dig this list out. It's got some
Yes.
random stuff on it.
Love that.
Some really good stuff, like countries that I want to go to or countries that I've liked.
Yeah.
And then I went to get my Botox done, and my friend's a dentist, and he did Botox on the
Yeah.
side. And I told him about this list, and I said, I'm going to put Botox on it. And he said, well, why don't you consider doing this for
Yeah.
a living? Because you're always asking me about the dosages and how it works, and I'm quite kind of curious. And I thought, yeah, that's actually quite a good idea. And then sort of time went, and then COVID happened. And during COVID, I know that COVID was really tough for a lot of people, but I absolutely loved that period of time because it gave me headspace and the headspace that I needed to think about what else I wanted to do.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'd gone from managing 6, 7 productions to just having one, and that one was in the edit. So
Right,
because we couldn't film.
No.
So all of a sudden I just felt lighter and I had more time. And it was a summer, so it's lovely. You know,
Yeah.
remember that hot summer during
Yeah.
COVID?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just sort of was thinking about what else I could do, and then thought, do you know what? That comment that I thought about with the Botox, about my dentist friend saying, why don't you do it? I thought, I'm going to look at doing it because if nothing else, it's taught me that I needed to get my head out of TV. And I think COVID made me realise that's all
Yeah.
I've lived and breathed
Yeah.
is TV. And I
In
feel
your
really
adult life, right? That's
I
all.
feel really proud of that.
Yeah.
I feel like really, really proud of how far I've come in TV
Yeah.
and all of the experiences that I've had and what I've achieved. But when that's all consuming, it's not healthy.
No, definitely not.
No.
So how did you take that first step? Like, what are the qualifications you need and stuff like that?
So I just went and did. The good thing about aesthetics at the moment is that you can do it in kind of increments. So
Okay.
you can learn, in my case, kind of basic, in inverted commas, Botox,
Yeah.
which would just be the kind of frown and forehead and the kind of upper face. So I did that, and the only reason why I did that is because I thought I could just firstly maybe do my own Botox,
Save some money.
save some money, and I could just do my friend's Botox. And I thought, because I work in TV, the types of people that work in TV, they all want to look good. I thought I could just do friends that work in TV, just do their Botox, and it's just doing something to get my head out of TV. So I did that, and I was like, this is fun. And then people would start messaging me saying that they felt really great, and I got a real kick out of that. You know, it's something really simple. And then I went away and I just sort of did more. So you can bolt on and do more and more. So then you can do more advanced Botox. And then I went into filler and just more all over cosmetic injectables, really.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of grown and grown from there. So now I'm at this really exciting point where I am phasing my way out of TV. So my plan is to leave TV in October fully.
Wow.
And I've got my aesthetics business, and that is just booming. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go all in with the aesthetics.
Yeah, good for you. And you are busy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. This is another thing actually. When I was trying to think of other careers,
yeah.
one of the things that I did was look up the top 5 growing industries in the UK,
Go on.
and aesthetics is up there. I mean, in 2027 they expect it to be a £9 billion industry.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I think it's more common, and I think there are a lot more people getting stuff than would ever admit.
yeah.
Especially guys. You probably see a lot of guys actually.
I do. Do you know what I do? But so at the beginning, I did think that I wanted to specialize in men because I thought that's hugely sort of growing. I think
Yeah.
the stigma around it is beginning to over the next few years should hopefully phase out a little bit. So I thought maybe I'd target myself at men, but however, I now actually prefer women.
Do
And so
you?
now I actually specialize in women that are over 40 that just want more natural anti-aging kind
Good
of
for you.
solutions.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do have quite a lot of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no one wants to ever admit it. So that's why I was quite surprised when I was like, Are you sure,
I don't
you want to
mind.
announce it?
I'm an open
I love
book-ish.
that.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. And I think it's the same, honestly. I see it as the same as getting my hair done or going to the gym and trying to look a certain way. I think you have, we see the extreme examples of certain people. I hate to say Katie Price, but I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen her recently.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's
But
happened.
a
Bless
lot
her.
of that is surgery as well.
Yeah, that's surgery a lot. But it started probably at a slightly
Yeah.
different point. And I think there are people that are on the extreme end of it. But most are what you say. They're just trying to preserve certain things and just trying to feel healthy, right?
Yeah.
I feel great after I've had it. Like those few days when it kicks in,
Oh,
I feel fresh. I can't make much expression, and Oscar finds it hilarious. Do you remember the first time I had it? I remember getting on the tube afterwards thinking I felt like I looked like Simon Cowell. So there's that image of him a
Yeah.
few years ago where he had all this work and he looked just frozen.
yeah.
I almost walked around feeling like, oh my God, people are looking at me. I feel like Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
But I feel quite
a
nice.
lot.
Now I love it.
It's how it's done. It's I think aesthetics in general has got a really, really bad name. I think people think that you are either going to come out looking like Katie Price
Yes.
or the Simon Cowells of the world or whatever, and actually that's just done badly, or it's when it's gone over the top. I don't think
That's too much, isn't
I don't
it?
think people realise how small little tweakments, as we call them, tweakments,
Nice.
small little tweakments can make such a big difference.
Yeah.
So I think I like to hope the stigma's sort of
I think it is
going a little
changing.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people in general are looking after themselves more, which can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
So good. So where
Yeah.
do you want to take it next? Like, what's the long-term goal? Because you have a place you have a few places, King's Cross, right?
Yeah. So I have a place in King's Cross. It's right next to the station, so it's super easy. Central London.
Yeah.
And I love it there actually.
Do you?
At the moment, I'm there 3 days a week. But that's because the other 3 days are in TV.
Yes.
But my TV stuff is phasing out. So basically, what's happened recently, I mean, I laugh at this because I can't do anything else but cry if otherwise. my boss nearly a year ago turned around and slightly unexpectedly, I didn't expect her to say this, but she told me that she was pregnant and that therefore she wanted to go on maternity leave and everything else. And I just was not expecting it.
Yeah.
She's the managing director of the company. And she turned around and said to me, so I want you to cover my role whilst I'm on maternity leave.
As you do.
Obviously, I was like, no. Like, I do 3 days a week because the other 3 days is like all consumed. So I'm working 6-day weeks already, working insane hours. And I ended up, at first I said no to covering her maternity leave. And then I went away and I sort of thought, it's taken me quite a lot to come to terms with the fact that because I want to leave TV, that's not failing.
No.
But that's taken me a lot. Like, there were times when I just used to
Yeah.
be so upset thinking I failed, why am I getting burnt out so much? Like, I should be able to just work at that pace and not get burnt out. And I think then when she offered me her maternity cover, I actually went away and thought about it and thought, do you know what? This is my one last hurrah.
Yeah.
So I'm
So you've been
doing
enjoying
that.
that.
And then I am leaving there. So she comes back in September. And my plan is to then do a bit of a handover and everything else and then leave TV completely.
Wow.
and then go full-time aesthetics in King's Cross.
How exciting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm nervous. It's nerve-wracking.
I think it's a natural thing to be nervous, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you could always go back to TV if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you've got so much experience that, but yeah, you're taking the risk, and I think it's great. We all
Yeah.
need to. We'll tag you as well in this. We'll tag it in the description so people
Oh.
can book in with you.
Thank you.
Thinking about coffee then, are you a coffee person?
I love coffee.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your go-to coffee order?
Black Americano.
Same as me.
Yeah. I noticed that earlier when you said, I said, do you want a coffee? And you were like,
Yeah.
Black Americano. I was like, there you
Not
go.
many people go for it.
Why do you
But
think that is?
but Guillaume yesterday as well, so maybe we're on a streak now of
okay.
yeah. I don't know.
I like strong coffee though. I quite like it. I
Yeah.
like black. I like it strong. The other thing is, I quite like the fact that it comes really quite hot.
Do you?
Yeah, because then it means that I just sip it really slowly, and it means that then a coffee will last me. I mean, sometimes I'll have like a couple of coffees,
Yeah.
but that will last me until like lunchtime, and I'm constantly that person in work with a coffee cup in my hand.
Yes,
just
me
sipping
too.
at it. It's awful. It's like drip-fed coffee, isn't it?
Yeah. But the one we've just had was so hot. Like,
Yeah, it's really hot.
but
Yeah.
anyway. Have you got any like favourite coffee shops?
Do you know
Or
what?
you just go wherever?
I go wherever, although
Fine.
not chains. I'm all about independent. I mean, I do tend to go for prep for a bit, but you know,
Yes.
that's just more for convenience. I'm
I
all
agree.
about supporting small businesses.
Yeah,
so
nice.
why would you go to Starbucks or Pret? Although
Yeah.
why would you go to Starbucks when
Yeah.
there is probably a brilliant independent coffee shop around the corner?
Yeah.
Like that probably does better coffee.
I think people get too set in their ways, right? They go to what they know and a
Yeah.
big brand they see, so they think it's great. But honestly,
convenience, isn't
Starbucks, I don't know what their coffee is.
Yeah.
It just doesn't taste like coffee to me.
No.
It's like
It tastes burnt as well.
burns. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
good.
I don't tend to sit in very much. So I was thinking this on the way to you. Actually,
Really?
I was thinking, God, I should just go to the coffee shop and actually just sit in. I'm more of a grab a coffee on the go. If it's a weekend, I'll get a coffee and maybe just go for a little walk.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm that sort of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love sitting in coffee shops.
Do you?
Yeah.
Take your laptop or do you just sit there?
Both. So during the week I might work from coffee shops, but on the weekend if I've got time, I like to find like a good coffee shop on the weekend because I have more time and I like to just take it in, see what's going on around
nice,
me.
yeah.
And generally I like doing it on my own.
Yeah. Bit
I
of
always say-
ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say, because when I go away with Oscar, he tends to sleep in a bit longer. I'm up super early. So I have those couple of hours in the morning to myself, which I love. And then I've had my first coffee. He wakes up. We get on with our day. But it's great. So I
That's
find all
really
these
nice.
nice coffee shops when we go away, which is quite good.
That's really
Yeah.
nice. It's discovering new stuff as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, nice.
So you've done a lot with your career in TV, now transitioning. You've lived away. Is there any like big life lessons or bits of advice you want to share?
I think for me, and this sounds so cliche, and I
It's
don't want
fine.
to sound cliche. You know, they say that like no kind of journey is linear, and that things.
Yes.
That has honestly been my biggest learning from this.
Really?
Yeah, I've always been quite business minded. You know, I've always been. So although yes, I work in TV, which is a creative industry, I think I'm better at the business side of it.
Yeah.
And so I've always thought my transition from TV into aesthetics has been, I was like, oh, well, I can easily run my own business and I can, you know, easily do. And
Yeah.
yes, to some extent, I have found it fairly easy and it's like booming and I'm absolutely loving it. But my God, it hasn't been a straight line.
Really?
No, there's definite ups and downs. And you sort of think, like the trajectory isn't quite as simple as you would think.
Yeah.
So
What have some of the struggles been?
I think, you know, when I trained in aesthetics, I thought, well, I'm trained now. It's as easy as that. But you need your clients.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
could be the best injector known to man. What's the point if you don't have clients?
Yeah.
Even like we were saying earlier, finding my niche and finding that actually I really like dealing with women over 40. That has taken time.
Yeah.
So at points I think I was focusing on all the wrong things, and
Really?
it took me time to sort of get into my groove.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I think with that, I think now that is something that I definitely still want to continue to to focus on is women that are over 40-ish, just want natural looking, don't want to come out looking like a Kardashian. I'm not going to make somebody that's 45 look 18.
Exactly.
That's just,
Exactly.
and about the kind of confidence boosting and that kind of thing. I think it's taken me a long time to get to that place.
I think what's good is that you didn't give up. So one of the things I think people do often is that they have a goal, they have an idea, they start to try and do it, but they don't see success straight away, so they give up. It's definitely one of the things I read a lot when starting a podcast is that people produce 10 episodes expecting to get millions of listens, and then they don't, so they give up. I'm like, I'm going to keep going with this. Like, sure, some episodes will get more than others, but, I think that's what I take from you is that you just keep going and going. And you haven't jumped too early. Like, you carried on your career, trying to build that. You're at a good place where you think, this is going to work now. So, I like that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I would say one of the things that I'm still trying to work on is that I am a bit of a workaholic.
Yeah.
Which I think comes with positives and negatives there. Like I don't think I'd have got as far in my career if I wasn't a workaholic.
Really?
But at the same time, how much longer can I do that for? So part of my goal is to be able to maybe just work, say, 4 days a week, and then be able to travel or go for weekends away, or without feeling like. Yes, I travel quite a lot now anyway.
Yeah.
But I take my laptop everywhere. I'm constantly working, and in TV in general, it feels like you're almost on call. You don't have sort of set hours as such. I mean, there should be, but there's not. So I think that's something else that I'm still learning. Is that I think I need to establish a good middle ground between. I think there's a lot of positives in being a workaholic, but also.
You got to
The
find
whole
balance.
reason why I want to leave TV is because I've hit burnout too many times, and I need to make sure that I don't do that with my aesthetics.
Well, I guess with the aesthetics, you're trying to build that as well. So it's like I see a lot on social media, right? And God, I know with this, it takes time, the reels, the posts and stuff like that. But it's still trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
Knowing when, okay, I'm going to put it away for today. But that,
I always said as well with the difference between TV and my aesthetics is that even when I didn't know that I wanted to do aesthetics, I knew that I wanted to do something that was my own business. Okay. Whatever it was, I knew I wanted to set up my own business.
Yeah.
And I always said, even if I just give, say, 10% of what I've given to my TV career to my own business, I can't not succeed.
Yeah.
So
fine.
And I'm giving more than 10%.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Oh, good. Is there something that you've had to unlearn in life? Or change your ways, maybe particularly transitioning from one career now to your next stage?
I think with that, probably also a bit of patience.
Patience.
I'm such an impatient person. I run at 100 miles an hour, and that's in my personal life. I'm one of those people that I've always got a full social diary. I'm here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But then when you're trying to set up a business and it doesn't come through just overnight. I just need to be patient. I'm really trying.
I resonate with that.
I'm learning. That's not. Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah. I think it's changing away slightly. I think I'm the same. My Oscar tells me quite often, like, are you just gonna rest? He's gonna just sit and be with it.
I'm not good at that though.
No.
Are you?
No.
I don't know what to do if I've got a day off. I mean, I don't really ever have days off because I'm always doing something.
Are you?
Even with my aesthetics, even if I have got. I mean, I'm working 6 days anyway, so even if it's a Sunday, then I'm sat fine. I might be still doing it in front of the TV. Guilty pleasure of watching like reality TV or something that I wouldn't normally make as what I would do nowadays in terms of documentaries. So I sit there and watch any old trashy TV whilst doing Instagram reels. Like I don't stop. So I need to be patient.
You'll get there.
Well, it's fine. And I'm constantly telling my clients they need to be patient with their treatments. I never practice what I preach. It's awful, isn't it? I don't think any of us do that. I had like literally with my clients.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in and wants instant results.
I know.
Everyone. And really, in terms of what you offer, yes, Botox takes 2 weeks to kick in, but you get a pretty instant result with that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's filler. Filler, you get an instant result. But then otherwise, it's more about kind of working on the skin quality. That takes time. You might need multiple sessions. And people come to me and just want completely instant results, or they say, you know, I want to look like this, and it's like that's not going to happen overnight. And I'm constantly telling them that patience and that it's a journey.
Yeah, take a bit of that advice. I was going to say about so there's a new like phenomenon, right? Like salmon sperm.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
I love the salmon sperm.
Don't we all? Because people get, there is a natural reaction to that, right? For most people.
Yeah. Again, it takes time though.
Yes.
So it's something called polynucleotides. So polynucleotides are derived from salmon sperm. It's not actual salmon sperm. It's sterilized fragments of DNA that are extracted from salmon sperm.
So that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And when you inject that, it's a biostimulator. So what it does is we have little things called fibroblasts that make our skin cells, and it stimulates the fibroblasts to make more skin cells.
Okay.
So it means you're going to get more skin cells. Now, the problem is, talking about patience, a skin cell takes about 29 days to form. So you're not going to get an instant result because you're creating more skin cells. I'm telling people this all the time. And then next minute, I'm like, why isn't my business fully booked? And,
and you get some bumps, right? Afterwards.
So if you do it under your eyes, which I'd say is probably the most common place to have it done, because under eyes is quite a common kind of area of concern for people. So if you do it under your eyes, you get kind of little bumps, and they can last for a few days, probably about 3 days.
Really?
So it's a little bit unsightly for a bit, but it is so worth it. It's brilliant.
Really?
It tightens the skin. For under eyes, it brightens as well. You get a bit more hydrated. So yeah, I would say that's a top treatment to have at the moment. Yeah.
I'll be carefully planning when I get that then. All right, it's time for the quick fire round.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. First thing you do in the morning.
So,
oh God.
on Black Friday,
Yes.
I bought a red light, LED red light. I've become obsessed, right? So I didn't buy the ones that, you can see the mask.
Yeah.
One that's like a kind of like a dome, almost like a semi-dome that you can put your whole head under. Now what I do is I keep it plugged in next to my bed, and the first thing I do, I'm quite good in the morning. I wake up like straight away.
Do you?
I'm not like a snoozer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So the first thing I do is roll over, get that. So whilst I'm still laying in bed, shove that over my head.
How long?
It's nice. Oh, sometimes 15 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Red light.
What does it do? What's the benefit?
It just stimulates everything.
Everything.
So it's good for like hair growth as well, and skin. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
But
I know.
it just makes me, because it's quite bright as well. I just feel like then I've woken up. It's almost like being under a sunbed without the
damage.
You know what I mean? That kind of that kind of brightness, and I love it. It sets me up for the day. I've become
Amazing.
obsessed.
I love that. I know red light therapy is taking off.
Yeah.
The gym that I work at offers it now. Like,
Yes,
I think
great.
it's like a big. Anyway.
And you fully go in it, yeah.
Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Always.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never tea?
Not really. And maybe I'll have a green tea.
Yeah, I like
If
mint
the
tea.
mood, yeah.
Good. A guilty pleasure you'll never give up. You did
Do you know
talk
what?
about
I
one.
do love popcorn.
Popcorn.
I know it's so random.
Sweet or salty?
Salted, not sweet. I don't like sweet stuff like that in that way. It's
Really?
like, that's kind of sticky sweet
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
But interestingly, I'm not a big salt fan in terms of I wouldn't ever choose crisps because they're too salty and I don't love that. But popcorn,
Yeah.
the thing that's what I then started doing was popping my own. Have you ever done that at home?
Yeah.
So you get the kernels and put it in a sauce, but then you put it with coconut oil. It is so good.
Wow.
But then I make a bowl and then I'm like, oh, the rest
It's a
of the
great
bag's there.
snack.
Is it?
I think it's not too
Not if you
unhealthy.
eat as much as I do.
Well, it depends how much coconut oil you're adding. Oh, I love that. Favorite place you visited and why? You've been on some amazing trips.
Yeah, I love traveling, which is also part of my whole career transition, is that I just want to be able to have time to be able to travel rather than be working all the time. I went on a trip to Sri Lanka a couple of years ago, and I think the country was just really special in general. Like, I love Sri Lanka. The food was amazing. The scenery was amazing. And I think as well, I went with a big group of friends and people dipped in and dipped out. And so I think that just kind of added to it. I had the best time.
That sounds amazing. Good. Favorite way to spend your one day off a week that you have?
Am I allowed to be in a hot country?
Yes.
In that case, I'm getting a coffee. I'm going for a walk along the beach. I'm then sitting on the beach for a bit.
Wow.
And then probably end it with a rooftop bar somewhere.
Perfect. Cocktail?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably either an espresso martini or then a margarita.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favourite. If you could time travel forwards or backwards?
I mean, I wouldn't go backwards because that's what the history books are for, right? I mean, we know what happened in the past. What are you going to do about that? You
Yeah.
know?
Great
so
answer.
I would definitely go forward. Do you know what I would probably do? I'd say it's a business opportunity. So I'd travel forward, see what's happening in the world,
Clever.
and then come back and invent something that is gonna take off.
Strategic. I love that.
Yeah.
Very good. What's the weirdest thing you've Googled recently? If you know.
Do you know what? I actually don't know, but one of the things that I was going to say was typing in salmon sperm, which I suppose if you don't know what it is.
If you've just tuned into this point.
Yeah. No, I think salmon sperm has probably come up on my
Wow.
on my phone quite a lot.
I might do that and see what comes up. It
Ho-
should be the
hopefully it'll come up
hopefully
with
it's the right stuff.
polynucleotides.
Exactly. Finally, what is a small amount of joy you've experienced recently?
Oh, do you know what? I went to the Cotswolds a couple of weekends ago, and I went with a group of friends, and it's so silly, isn't it? We literally just chilled out for the weekend. I actually took 2 days off.
Did you?
The whole weekend, for the whole weekend.
Nice.
It's rare. And we got a little bit drunk, and we just danced around the kitchen,
I love it.
and I literally loved it.
Just let go.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
singing to all the stupid pop songs, or just for a bit silly, dancing around the kitchen. I
love
absolutely
that.
loved it.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on ChatterBeans.
Of course, thank you
I've
for
really
having me.
enjoyed our conversation because it's so different to some of the others that I've had recently. And I love that you had one goal, one career, and then you've started to change your way to something else. I think that's exactly what life's about, like pursuing those passions. So thank you for telling us and sharing your story. Where can people find out, connect with you, maybe get some treatments?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Instagram, so Aesthetics by Hayley Ford, or you could just type in aestheticsbyhayley.co.uk, and I'm based in King's Cross.
Amazing. And we'll tag you in the description and everything like that. So
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, that brings us to the end of season 1 of ChatterBeans. Thank you so much for listening, for your support and being part of this journey. It's been a real privilege sharing these conversations, and I can't wait to bring you even more in season 2. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so that you're the first to know when we're back. You can also watch the full episodes on YouTube and follow us on Instagram at chatter.beans for updates, highlights, and a look behind the scenes. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon for the next chapter.